Welcome to toy-polloi.
Hello and welcome to another video from toy-polloi. Now, quite often when you're restoring old toys, you'll see this, which is corrosion inside the battery compartment of an old toy, where the batteries have leaked and it's corroded the metal. This is a really common problem, but it's something that's quite easy to sort of fix and that will enable you to get the vehicles up and running again. If possible, if you can remove all the bits of metal, then do. Some of these bits I've removed. If you can't, like these few bits on this Darth Vader TIE fighter, then it's not too much of an issue. What you're going to need to do is get yourself a bit of kitchen towel and then push this as much as you can into the battery compartment, and then you're going to need some white vinegar. Here we have a little pot full of white vinegar, and I'm just going to use a Q-tip to gently put white vinegar onto this bit of kitchen towel and soak it until it's really sort of starting to stick to the bits of metal. Once it's like that, then we can leave it overnight, and that will hopefully sort of remove the large part of the corrosion, and we'll be able to get the ship back up and running. So just want to liberally put this on there. Now, the reason I'm doing this with a Q-tip and not just pouring it on is because I don't actually want to sort of soak it and pour vinegar right inside the ship. I want to sort of have some control over this. So using a Q-tip means that you're only putting on little bits at one time. And it also means that you can push the kitchen towel right in to the places that it needs to be, so sort of to touch all the bits of the metal. So now that that's done, for the bits of metal we've removed, you can actually just drop those into the white vinegar. We can also add some screws. I've got a few of the screws are pretty sort of rusty looking, and also the springs for the inside of the wing mechanism, so those can all go in as well. And you'll notice that almost straight away, let me just put all of those bits in, that it starts to fizz a bit, and that's the white vinegar working. So we just need to leave those for a few hours, and hopefully that will remove all of the stuff in that time. If it doesn't, then you'll need to leave them in for slightly longer. So let's leave all of this working, and we'll come back to it shortly and we'll see what the results are. And welcome back. It's now a day later. This has all been sitting in the white vinegar overnight, so now I can start taking these bits out and we'll see what they look like. I can see that the vinegar has gone quite rusty coloured, so that's always a good sign, and a lot of stuff has fallen off these, so hopefully it should have come off quite nicely. So first of all, let's remove them from the vinegar and put them on a bit of cloth. And I've got another bit of kitchen towel here, so I can just sort of gently start to rub away. As you can see, quite a lot of stuff is coming off. Actually, most of the rust seems to have come off this, which is pretty good. It's a fairly messy job, but it's well worth doing. As you can see, that actually looks quite nice. It's almost back to being sort of like a new spring. You wouldn't expect these to be shiny springs, yeah, that's pretty good. So there's one there. Let's do a screw so we can see what that is. You can see absolutely filthy. If I rub that, all the rust and gunk is coming off it, and it's going back to looking quite nice. But in the meantime, you can see I am getting absolutely filthy. So I'm going to go ahead and clean these, and then we can get on to the contacts that are inside the TIE fighter. And here is the TIE fighter battery compartment. As you can see, the bit of kitchen towel is soaked up. It's got a sort of green colour of the corrosion and also a little bit of a rusty colour. If I take that out, you can see quite a lot of the green corrosion has stuck to the tissue there, and the rest of it should have loosened up enough that I can now start to scrape this off. You're never going to get this back to looking absolutely perfect, but you should be able to clean it up an awful lot and at least get the battery compartment working again. As you can see, this is all quite loose now, so I should just with a screwdriver be able to flake it all off and get this ship back up and running. That's about as much as I can scrape off this one. This was a particularly bad case of corrosion, but it's cleaned it up enough that I should be able to get this back up and running. The contacts are now clean enough, and there's enough copper left there that it should work. Obviously, if you spend more time doing this, you can actually clean up quite a bit more, but it does take, it's a bit of a slow process, so you've got to be quite patient doing it. And for this video, I've got other things that I need to do. So for now, I think that's as good as I'm going to be going to get this. Hope that's been of interest, and thanks for watching.
Thanks for watching toy-polloi. Subscribe for more great videos. You can also follow toy-polloi on Twitter and Facebook.